Today's reality, however, does not dictate the future, and Finnish trends such as these are creating a positive turning point in the Battle of the Bulge. According to the Humane Society of the United States, 70 million stray animals are living in the U.S. right now. Of those 70 million, only 6 to 8 million are actually put in shelters, such as these. Perros de búsqueda utilizaron artículos personales para reconocer el olor de Janet y determinaron que fue aquí donde dio sus últimos pasos. Después de aquí, su rastro se vuelve frío, sin dejar ni un solo indicio de dónde podría estar. No cabe duda que el camino a la confianza con estas aeronaves ha sido una difícil, pero estos espectadores están de acuerdo que a pesar de un pasado negativo, los Ospreys tienen un servicio que ofrecer que solo puede mejorar con el tiempo. The calm in the winds and all the sounds that make up nature are what make up a normal day in the Coronado National Forest Campground in West Arizona. That is why that unfortunate day of June 19th this year, rare chaos in the Rustler Park area of the campground was brought upon the disappearance of 42-year-old Janet Castrejon. That Friday evening, Janet and her mother went for a brief walk to a paying station to pay their nightly dues. When Janet decided to part ways with her mother and reunite with her father at the campground her and her family reserved for a Father's Day weekend getaway. A decision that seized all cause for celebration and became a search party for the daughter of Lidia Castrejon and her husband, Dr. Eduardo Castrejon of Las Cruces.
The only time I found out that she was missing is when my wife showed up and asked me, is Janet here already? I said, no, she's not here. And we started searching.
Respondents to the scene included the Castrejon family and their church group, as well as the Cochise County Sheriff's Department. Search dogs used personal items to recognize Janet's smell and determined here was the place where her last known footsteps were taken. After this, the trace remains cold, not leaving a single clue as to where she could be. The search team continued their search throughout Father's Day weekend until the Castrejons went home, hoping they might have received a phone call and voicemail from her. Since then, Janet's brother, Fabian Castrejon, conducts the searches and investigations for his sister.
It wasn't unusual for her to wonder, but her memory was good enough so she would have remembered where she came from.
At an early age, Janet aspired to earn her degree in computer engineering at New Mexico State University, and she had indeed started. But that dream was cut short when at the end of her first semester, she was in an almost fatal car accident. Janet suffered enough damage to put her in a 3-month coma, during which they removed half of her brain, leaving her with short-term memory loss, the complete loss of eyesight in one eye, and partially lost eyesight in the other.
She would ask, why is it that I can't finish my career? She would ask, how come I can't get married? And it really broke my heart not being able to answer those questions.
Regardless of the hurt her parents feel, the Castrejons say their eagerness to find their daughter and fulfill her life wishes is still very much alive. The investigator on the case, J.C. Hoke, has been very cooperative with the family, sending pictures and videos of people who look like and might be her. He says this case is odd, but there is still hope.
We have no evidence to suggest anything has happened in a bad manner, but yet everything that leads to her last place that she would have been would make me think that there's a possibility that there's foul play involved there.
This gives way to the idea that she is somewhere out there in the public's eye. Due to the facts of the case, Hope believes Janet is not in the Arizona mountains. Therefore, she is currently listed as a missing person until given reason to think otherwise. Janet's mother, Lidia Castrejon, is clinging to faith, even with the amount of time that has passed. She says she has faith in God, and that if it is in His will, Janet will come back home. Reporting for News 22, Tanya López. Con la llegada de las aeronaves militares conocidas como B-22 Ospreys, el aeropuerto de Las Cruces recibió más de lo que se ve a primera vista, pues estas han tenido un historial de accidentes que han generado cierta controversia sobre su seguridad percibida.
I'd be curious to see,
Jonathan Newton, quien formó parte del público quien se juntó para recibir a los Ospreys, dice que a pesar de tener un expediente cuestionable, tiene la curiosidad de saber cómo se comparan a las avionetas alternativas. Alternativas que les falta mucho para poder cumplir con los estándares que tienen estos aviones debido a su facilidad de acceso en tareas militares complejas, las mismas que han añadido a la lista de soldados damnificados. No cabe duda que el camino a la confianza con estas aeronaves ha sido una difícil, pero estos espectadores están de acuerdo que a pesar de un pasado negativo, los Ospreys tienen un servicio que ofrecer que solo puede mejorar con el tiempo. A través de años de pruebas y errores, las ramas militares que han decidido aún poner en uso a los Ospreys lo han hecho con la conciencia de que la estructura se ha construido de manera concreta. William Griega Lunas dice que el desarrollo de las aeronaves fue difícil porque había muchos pilotos de prueba que se estrellaron a causa de ser un tipo de aeronave muy diferente. Pero según su conocimiento, han mejorado con el tiempo y no tienen ninguna incomodidad sabiendo que se usan. Es que además de su papel en combate, Ospreys también tienen la tarea de asumir reabastecimiento aéreo y misiones de alivio a desastres, y con labores así, no es fácil sacudir la fe en estas aeronaves. Para Noticias 22, Tanya, Betancis.
Paws, peoples, and fashion strut up and down a downtown catwalk on Saturday, showing off the best outfits and attributes of Las Cruces pets. These friendly members of society are all part of a community aiming to raise awareness of the rising problems of stray animals everywhere with events and fundraisers like this pet fashion show.
We're just hoping to raise a little money to offset the costs of keeping all the animals at Safe Haven.
Safe Haven, a location on the west of Las Cruces and a 15-minute drive down East Highway 70 that led us to one of the largest no-kill facilities in the Doña Ana County.
According to the Humane Society of the United States, 70 million stray animals are living in the U.S. right now. Of those 70 million, only 6 to 8 million are actually put in shelters, such as these.
Safe Haven Animal Sanctuary, or SHAS, currently holds cats and dogs of all ages just looking for someone to play with them. It is home to an estimated 50 dogs and 35 cats who are able to live there with contributing help of community donations and a local thrift store. The Safe Haven Thrift Store is a local-run business in Las Cruces that accepts donations of all sorts from the community. Store manager Cassandra Lockwood tells us the hopes for SHAS and their plan of execution.
I think at this point what we're doing is trying to make sure those 60, 70 animals find homes through adoption events and other festivals such as the Pet Fashion Show.
The fashion show allowing all animals to dress up and feel love from their owners and friends as they strut their stuff with their owners.
Let's say there's a kid that didn't have a home, then it's just like the same thing, but it's an animal.
Reporting for News 22, Tanya López.
Hola y bienvenidos a otra serie de Noticias 22 en línea. Yo soy Tanya López. Se dice que un individuo dejó un paquete sospechoso afuera de una de las entradas de los dormitorios Piñón Hall martes en la Universidad Estatal de Nuevo México. Hasta el momento se dice que todo ha sido una falsa alarma y que el paquete no contenía ningún explosivo. Varias agencias de seguridad respondieron al llamado de la emergencia para ayudar a garantizar la máxima seguridad para el campus. Un accidente de tráfico fatal que ocurrió el sábado por la mañana cerca del centro comercial Mesilla Valley sigue bajo investigaciones. El choque cobró la vida de Lainel C. Holguín de Las Cruces, también conocido como Lainel Salazar, de 35 años. El accidente ocurrió después de las 2 de la mañana, pero se dio a conocer horas después cuando personas que iban pasando por el accidente hicieron la llamada de emergencia. La policía de Las Cruces reporta que el vehículo venía rumbo al norte sobre la calle Don Roser Drive a alta velocidad antes de chocar con un letrero. Las investigaciones indican que Holguín no estaba usando el cinturón de seguridad y venía bajo la influencia del alcohol.